All right. So again, I just want to welcome everyone. If the topic of becoming caught your attention, that means that your next level is calling. And guess what? I don't believe that you're here by coincidence. I believe you're here by divine appointment. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up this PowerPoint presentation and we're going to dive right in. This is the Becoming Her seminar. It's becoming the woman you desire and all God designed you to be. My name is TACONDRA L. Brown, also known as the Beautiful Butterfly. And you guys, I am a wife, a mother, an author, a transformational speaker, and life coach who spreads hope, healing, and I inspire transformation in you so that greater works can be done through you. I am, like I said, an author. I am also the founder of TRANSFORMATIONal Unlimited, a self-development company that exists to help heal, build, and empower and transform the lives of women. I provide faith-based services, guidance, events, tools, and resources that teach women how to embrace their God identity and worth, transform their hurt into healing, their losses into legacy, and pain into power. Pain into purpose, I'm sorry. Just to give you a little bit more about me, I'm a first-generation college graduate in my family. I earned my bachelor's degree in psychology with a concentration in Christian life coaching and leadership coaching from Liberty University. I have worked with professional brands and ministry leaders to coordinate and plan conferences, events, things of that nature. I'm also an editor and writing coach for the Writers Retreat Inc. and Luminous Publishing, where we focus on assisting faith-based women writers to craft and refine their God-given message for the masses. My professional background is kind of expansive, but I'm most passionate about serving others. If you know me, you know I like to help, I like to serve. I've worked with the elderly and disabled. I've worked with homeless veterans, domestic violence and sexual assault victims in the past. And I've also worked in the insurance industry where I actually help people restore the losses that they've actually incurred in life. So I was a claims adjuster and I serviced the military members who experienced losses in their homes and things of that nature. These are just a few of the experiences that actually shape my character, substance, and significance. But above all of these things that you may know about me or the titles that I have, my priority and the role I highly esteem the most is being a wife and a mother. If you know me personally, you know those are two things that I know how to do, and I know how to do them well. So let me just go ahead and throw these disclosures out here, because I know you're probably wondering, like, what is this all about, TACONDRA? What are you selling? Well, you know what? I'm not here to really sell you anything. I am probably the person who hates selling the most, but I'm not just here to sell you something. I am here to offer you something. I'm here to offer you something that's transformational, not transactional. So I encourage you to stay until the end of this seminar and really just hear my heart. I believe that what's from the heart actually reaches the heart. And if this is meant for you, you will know without a doubt. If it's not for you right now, that's okay too. Just promise me you'll stay and at least glean what you can from this webinar so that you can leave inspired, wherever you are in your journey right now. All right, give me a thumbs up if y'all okay with that. Let me know if you're going to stick it out. Stick it out with me till the end. I don't know if you can even give me a thumbs up. Say something in the chat. Do something, okay? All right, so of course, we're talking about becoming. So you're probably wondering what my story of becoming actually is. So you see that girl right there, you guys, this graceful, confident, and bold woman that you see sitting right there today, who I am today, is not who I was years ago. I was once insecure. I was fearful, broken, bound, and just empty on the inside, honestly. I've lived life in the past aimlessly, trying to fill voids in my heart with people, material things, achievements, and whatever you can find to give your life meaning and purpose. I'm sure you can probably relate. You wouldn't believe how much I've struggled with ungodly beliefs, feeling inadequate, feeling unfruitful, helpless, and hopeless. And not to forget, I was also confused about my purpose. Many of my problems were actually rooted in trauma from rejection, from hurt, fear, loss, and pain that I actually experienced after giving birth to my daughter. Now I'm gonna try to give you the short version of this. I am a storyteller. I am also a writer, so I can be long-winded, but I definitely got to share this with you guys. So growing up, I was known as Little Miss Perfect, right? I was the one who couldn't do any wrong. I was often rejected for being different. I felt pressured to perform for affirmation, acceptance, and for people's approval. Then one day it finally happened. You know, one poor decision led to me, Little Miss Perfect, getting pregnant, right? So the guilt and the shame of that mistake pretty much anguished me for 9 long months. I was 18 years old when I gave birth to my baby girl. She was 6 pounds and 9 ounces, pure of joy. Nevertheless, there was this thing, you know, pain still had a grip on me. And due to complications after giving birth to her, I was actually rushed into emergency surgery to have a hysterectomy because I was hemorrhaging. Now, I just want you to imagine the joy of beholding the sight of this beautiful, bright-eyed baby girl 1 minute and then awakening from a deep sleep hours later in pain, barren at that, stripped of my womb and the essence of what makes me a woman, right? Deprived of my capacity to carry and give birth. From that moment forward, you guys, my life changed drastically. And I didn't have a clue of just how much. I was only 18 years old when this happened. And to be honest, at the age of 18, who's thinking about, you know, having another child or, you know, the effects of a hysterectomy would have on you at such a young age? In the years following, I began feeling robbed of my femininity and my identity. I blamed God. I even blamed my husband for my loss, you know, due to prior circumstances that we were dealing with before giving birth to our daughter. I resented him deeply as the years went by because I felt incomplete as a woman while he still possessed every part of him that made him whole as a man. I often questioned God, you know, why me? What did I do to deserve this punishment? I mean, I knew I had, you know, that's my sin, what I was dealing with, you know, there was consequence, but I was like, what did I do to deserve this? Again, this overwhelming pressure to perform and produce in life what other women could do effortlessly crushed me, right? The ability to give birth. But I found a way to parade around life wearing masks of confidence and contentment, all the while feeling ashamed and inadequate to even ask for help. I suffered with depression and a dark cloud of barrenness just hoovered over me, you guys, until the point where I just became comfortable hiding under its shadow. I grew fearful of experiencing new things. I built walls around my heart to protect me from more hurt, pain, and rejection. The weariness of masking my insecurities became too heavy at some point. I was tired of feeling and being broken at that. And I failed miserably trying to control my own life for years. So at one point, and that one point just so happened to be 13 years later, you guys, I cried out to God in full surrender. And I placed my life's broken pieces into the hands of the only one that I knew could make me whole. So here I am today, healed, I'm empowered and restored. I have not arrived, you guys. My story is still being written, as is yours. But my journey has simply been, and it is proof that there is healing, freedom, and beauty in the brokenness of becoming. And, you know, healing and wholeness is something we often run away from rather than running towards it. And my desire is to always encourage people and inspire them to go down that path of healing and that process of being made whole. So I'm going to take a moment right here. How many of you can relate? I think I got a poll up here. Let me figure out how to do it. I have a poll. How many of you have experienced some type of loss in life? And if you have, I'm going to launch this poll right now. Let me know. If you guys can see this, let me know if you've experienced any type of loss, whether you see it listed here or not. I see the comments. I relate to parts of your story. Yeah. All right. So we have some physical losses. We have, death of loved ones. We have identity crisis, divorce, relationship losses, loss of property or prized possessions. Financial losses are a loss, you guys. There's so many things, people don't even recognize as being losses in life and the impact that these losses have on us. So as we can see, you can all relate in some type of way. I'm not the only one who's experienced loss. You're not the only one. And we're still going to experience loss and even pain in life. There's no way that we can avoid that. But what we can do is ask God to help us prepare for those losses and things of that nature. So thank you guys for doing that poll with me. So what is transformation, you guys? What is transformation all about? As I mentioned earlier, I've become known as this beautiful butterfly, right? But you too are a beautiful butterfly because we all go through a process of transformation at some point or another. But what is it? Transformation is basically it's a radical act or process of change in the body, in the mind, and in the soul. It involves a conversion, right? In your form, in your thinking, in your appearance. I mean, I changed in my appearance too, but this ain't about what I look like on the outside. This is about the inside, right? But it's also about transforming your actions. And here's a key pearl about true transformation that most people don't realize. So if you got your pen and your paper, I want you to take a note. Whenever you find something about yourself that you don't like and want to change, you need to look for a way to reinvent it. I'll say that again. Whenever you find something about yourself you don't like and want to change, you need to look for a way to reinvent it. And there are two ways that we primarily go through transform. The two primary ways that we transform. I'm going to talk about those. All right. So the first one is inside out, right? Inside out. The world teaches us that change happens on the outside first, then the inside, right? But the truth is that significant change must always occur in the inside first. When I was going through my process of transformation, things were happening on the outside of me very quickly because I went through a process to help me with, some weight loss issues and things of that nature. I'm not here to talk about that, but people couldn't see what was going on the inside of me. Many people were able to see what was going on the outside, but no one had any idea of the transformation God was doing within me. So true transformation always happens on the inside first. It's a change that originates from the soul and not just from, who and what others expect you to be. Even when you don't realize you're being transformed from the inside out, it's happening. The process is happening. And the next way, of course, is seeing yourself outside of yourself. What does that mean? That means you're having to take a good look at yourself in the mirror. And that's always a good place to start, okay? Take a look at yourself in the mirror. But you don't just stop there, right? You must see yourself as a work of art. We have to see ourselves as a work always in progress. And you are someone who is always growing. You're always stretching. You're always reinventing something about yourself that you don't like. And you're probably wondering at this point, so why is it so hard for me to become, right, the woman I desire? Well, you can be one of the reasons, and you don't even realize it. But don't worry, okay? Because this was me at some point too. Don't worry, you're not a lost cause or a horrible person, all right? And you definitely aren't the only one that's holding you back. So let's talk about the signs of transformation, right? So these are some of the signs that you can identify if your transformation process has begun, right? So the signs of transformation involve becoming aware that something's not right. Your eyes are being open to see through the lies and the illusions that, your loss or your trauma has created. You often feel unfulfilled and frustrated with the progress or the lack thereof that you've made in your life. going in cycles, going in circles, or feeling like you're growing and then you're having setbacks. Something deep inside of you desires to have something more fulfilling, something that's more rich and that makes you feel whole, right? And then, of course, you're tired of experiencing the same emotions, the same negative thoughts, disappointments. That was a big one for me. I struggled with disappointment so much. Disappointments in life that you've eventually settle for, that become your reality, right? So it's like, well, I guess this is my portion. Let me just settle for this because it keeps happening. These struggles keep happening. They won't go away, right? You get an idea and fear keeps you from starting, or maybe you'll start something and you won't finish it, or you just give up before you even start because there's just something blocking you from being able to give birth and just manifest those things that you desire in life, right? And then, of course, if you've probably experienced these things, let me, I think I have another poll up here. I want to see what you guys, if you've experienced some of these type of struggles and challenges. If you have experienced any of these, I want you to go ahead and vote and share what type of struggles that you may be facing now or ones that you've faced in the past. All right, so fear. Number one, doubt and unbelief, feeling stuck in life, right? Poor self-care. That's a huge one. Lacking confidence and low self-worth, feeling hopeless, right? Loss of joy, of course, disappointment and frustration, and sometimes just not having any support. It's hard to change when you don't have the right people around you that know how to push you in the right direction, or even the tools and the resources. Many times we want to change, but we don't even know how to start, right? So this is good. This is good. We can all relate, right? Again, this just let us know we're not alone. So I'm going to go ahead and end that. All right. All right, you guys. So you are ready to become. You are ready for transformation if you experience these, right? When you say, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough. That was me. I was just like, I'm tired. I'm tired. And this time I really mean it. I'm tired of being the same. I'm tired of this. But what this means is your soul is really crying for freedom, right? What's happening is the realization that you've been living life with something that's unresolved from your past. And you're ready to confront that thing. You're ready to overcome it, overcome that. And you're ready to, grow. You're ready to evolve. You're ready to get the clarity and the confidence that you need to birth those ideas, those visions, and those dreams that God has placed inside of you. So many of you can relate to this. And this is the reason why I have you here today. Becoming Her. Becoming Her. What is Becoming Her all about? Well, one, Becoming Her is about becoming healed, right? I've created this program that will help you, the woman that's ready to be transformed and become the person you desire and all that you are designed to be. So Becoming Her is about becoming healed. It's about going back and addressing those issues from the past that may be lingering and holding you back. It's about becoming empowered. You're becoming empowered to grow and to go through your process. Okay. Becoming Her is about becoming resilient. And this is learning how to withstand and recover from the obstacles you face in life. Okay. I had a story I was going to share with you right here about this here, but it's a butterfly story. But if you just look at this image here, you see a seed. I'm gonna just call it a seed. It's some type of plant that's growing through cement. And when the word resilient comes to mind, this is a great picture because it shows you that no matter what tries to block you, you can overcome it. You can break through it. And that's something that most of us don't really always know how to do that. Like I said earlier, we'll just give up and we just accept that this is my portion. We accept defeat, right? But becoming resilient is something that's really helped me in my journey. And I think I'm gonna share this story anyway. I didn't put a picture of this up, but I'm feeling led to share this story. I have, one day I was sitting out on my back porch, okay? And there was this there was a caterpillar on the brick wall. And I was like, what is this caterpillar doing on the wall? I can remember if he was on the wall first or if he was on the ground, but I saw the caterpillar. The caterpillar was coming from the porch and it was crawling up towards the brick wall. And here I am thinking, well, this caterpillar must need some help, right? So I go and I pick the caterpillar up as it's crawling to my wall and I put it back in the grass. All right, I put it back in the grass. And I'm like, okay, go eat, caterpillar, you know, go a different direction. I don't know where he was going, but I was trying to push it in a different way. And what happened was the same caterpillar, he went from the grass back to the back porch, headed back towards the wall. I did this 3 times, you guys. And each time I put him back in the grass, he or she, I'm not sure what it was, he or she headed right back to the wall from the grass. And the one thing that I said was, man, this is a little resilient caterpillar. And then it dawned on me, okay? It dawned on me as I was sitting there watching this caterpillar move quickly, right? He was moving quickly and with precision. It was searching for something, you guys. But what could a caterpillar possibly be looking for trying to climb up a brick wall? I just didn't understand. So after me and Maya played with it a little bit, you know, my daughter, you guys, she actually like got her headphones out. I was like, Mommy, can we keep it? She playing music for the caterpillar and everything, right? It dawned on me. God was telling me that this caterpillar was ready to transform and it was looking for a place to form its cocoon. You see, it had wandered away from its host plant because it no longer needed to eat and grow. It was ready to go higher. And here I was putting this caterpillar back in an environment that didn't suit it. The caterpillar was trying to go higher. It was trying to reach its next level. It was trying to elevate. And here I was thinking I was helping it, but I was really hindering it. You guys, talk about being resilient. That's what that caterpillar was doing. That caterpillar was trying to break through me. I was the brick wall, okay? I was the cement trying to hold it back. But that caterpillar was resilient and determined to go higher. So I just wanted to share that little story about you or about the caterpillar with you because that word resilient always reminds me of that caterpillar that I had on my back porch. All right, so this program, you guys, that I have created, it's called Becoming Her, and it's a 90-day metamorphosis mentoring program. Let me tell you a little bit more about this. It's a 12-week roadmap program that I've created. It's it's broken down very simply. You know, for the first 4 weeks, we're going to deal with healing her. The weeks 5 through 8, we're going to deal with empowering her. And then, of course, weeks 9 through 12, we're going to work on that resilience part. So again, what does healing her look like? Healing her looks like removing the sting of trauma. This means going back, I put it here, confronting the beast to embrace the beauty. Oh, that sounds so good. Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Confronting the beast to embrace the beauty. That basically means going back and dealing with the issues. You know, one of the things we say is God can't heal what you won't reveal. And sometimes we don't like to confront the pain. We don't like to confront the losses, those things that we've gone through, the beast, so that we can embrace the beauty. We can embrace the process of allowing that to be transformed, right, into something beautiful. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the process of forgiveness. I love talking about forgiveness because at one point you couldn't say that word to me, like forgive what? Forgive who? Especially don't tell me to forgive me, but working on forgiving everybody else. If you know anything about forgiveness, you guys, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other people. It's all for you. And it's a choice that you have to make. Healing the heart. We're going to heal her heart. We're going to focus on the mind, body, and emotions. We're going to identify and uproot broken beliefs. We're going to learn how to feel and heal those hurt emotions. What most of us have learned how to do as it relates to dealing or confronting our losses and the things that have happened to us is we've learned how to numb ourselves from the pain. And we don't want to feel the emotions. We don't want to, deal with it. We just rather ignore it, sweep it up under a rug, forget about it, right? But this is something that we're going to get into deep. We're going to go in. We're going to allow ourselves to feel those emotions, let them come up, and get them out. That's so important. And then soul care. Soul care is always cleaning up every part of you. Okay, cleaning up what that loss has done, not just on the outside of you, but on the inside of you. And then, of course, we're going to talk about healing habits. One of the things that I heard after the sting of my loss no longer was there, and I thought I was healed. God said, yeah, you're healed from the hurt, but now it's time to heal your habits. And I was like, what? Okay, there are layers to healing. There are layers to healing, you guys. When I wrote my first book and I just knew I was healed from my loss, there was still a process. Little did I know, like, there are layers to healing, like an onion, right? There's these layers that God begins to pull back. And so when he said, now you've been healed from the hurt, of course, I was still dealing with the heart stuff, but the habits as well. And that's learning to identify what your triggers are and resolving them. We don't resolve triggers just by identifying them and ignoring them. We want to get rid of them. There were things in my life, triggers, there were habits that I didn't realize my loss had allowed me to create these unhealthy, right, coping mechanisms, if you will, to deal with things, whether it was just the way I communicated, whether it was some stuff, me, how I dealt with depression and the things that I did to make it my norm. There's so many things that we could talk about here. I'm trying not to go deep, but this is what healing habits will be about: identifying and resolving those triggers and replacing unhealthy coping mechanisms that you've learned to cope with your pain. Empower Her, week 5 through 8. We're going to talk about empowering your perspective. We're going to talk about some mindset shifts, okay? Getting a God's view of you. This is so important because who was that saying we got scuba gear? Yeah, we going deep. I like to go deep, okay? But getting a God's view of you is so important. In one, I believe that's the foundational part of changing your perspective, is if you see yourself in a different way, in a way that doesn't align up with God's view of you, then it's going to be hard to change anything about your mind because you have a lie-based belief in your heart, all right? And then, of course, we're going to talk about overcoming self-sabotage and perfectionism paralysis. Now, how many of you, I don't have a poll for this, but leave it in the comments. How many of you have dealt with, probably still struggle with self-sabotage and perfectionism paralysis? If y'all can't see me, I got 10 hands and 10 toes put up right now, okay? Because this is me. I am her. I still struggle, okay? I'm very transparent. Y'all know how long it took me everything to get on here and do this webinar, okay? Everything. It took a lot. I almost didn't make it, but I had to push past it. I had to push past everything. I had to push past the obstacles. I had to push past my fear, anxiety, all that stuff. I had to push past the emotions, you guys. So we're going to talk about empowering your perspective. That'll help you move forward. And then, of course, your worth. I love this one here. Your worth is infinite. And in order to empower your worth, you first have to know who you are. Not just who you are, but whose you are. Knowing whose you are. And sister girl Melanie is popping, okay? Is popping in this photo. And I was just like, she just looks like a woman who knows her worth. Her head is held high. Her posture is on point. And honestly, she looked like she knows that what she carry is enough. Okay, you don't have to compare yourself to other people. You don't have to feel inadequate. You don't have to feel like, what I have isn't enough. Because when you know what's in you, when you know who you are and the power that's within you, you won't put a discount on that thing. And I'm talking about the Holy Spirit, if you know what I'm talking about, okay? What you carry is enough because God gave it to you. So we're going to empower your worth, and we're also going to empower your choices. One of the things that I've learned or I've found in my process is that I lost my ability to trust in myself. Because of feeling inadequate, because I made poor decisions, you know, at a young age. And just because some of the other things that I've experienced and I've walked through in life, I didn't feel empowered to make a choice. So I would always run to other people. And I'm not saying you can't, you know, go to your confidants and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the power lies in your hands. And so many people put their power in the hands of other people, and you allow other people to make choices for you that don't align up with the core of who you are. So we're going to talk about trusting in your ability to make decisions for you, not for everybody else. I mean, if you got a family, great. You know, we know that the choices you make can affect them as well. But again, we want you to make confident choices for yourself and that honor who you are at your core. And then, of course, building resilience, you guys. Building resilience so that it becomes natural. It becomes your natural. This is finding wisdom in your wounds. This is the one thing that I found out. This is the wisdom that I found in my wound. Your pain will either own you or it will owe you. And if you know anything, you might as well make it pay you. That was the one thing that I found, the wisdom that I found in my wound was, you know what? I didn't go through this. I didn't experience this for nothing. And this is where we talk about transforming that pain into purpose and those losses into legacy. I lost my wound, but I've gained something greater. And I'm allowing God to transform that into what you see now. Okay? So either your pain is going to own you or it will owe you. Now I want to say something that ain't make it owe you. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Make it pay you. Of course, creating a self-care plan that works for you is also a part of being resilient. So we're going to talk about ways to implement self-care and compassion. Some of you stated that, you know, you have an issue with self-care. I too had an issue with self-care. I mean, even let me tell you how simple it is. I used to wash my face hard. I used to wash my face hard. That's how much I didn't really care about myself because I'd gotten so used to being to pain. I go and some of my self-care things. There's this one lady, whenever I go get something done, and she's like, man, you're strong. Like, how you deal with it? And I used to tell her I have a high tolerance for pain. And I used to think that was a good thing, but I was like, no, the Lord was like, no, girl, that ain't good. You have a high tolerance for pain. That's an unhealthy coping mechanism, TACONDRA. Unhealthy coping mechanism. I have a high tolerance for pain. Think about that. Don't nobody want to hurt. I don't want to tolerate high tolerance of pain. I want it to hurt. I want to be able to say, ow, and I need healing. So I had to, you know, come to that conclusion myself. It's like, you know what? Condra, stop washing your face so hard. Be soft. Be soft. You're a woman. You know, it's just the simple things, you guys. Taking care of your body, you know, those are the things that you have to learn how to do, because sometimes we know how to do everything for everybody else, but we've forgotten how to do things for ourselves. Okay? Review goals and action plans. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't always been a big goal setter type person. I'm usually the type of person where if I set my mind to do something, I just do it. I think of an action plan, or I'll think of it, you know, as far as I can, and then I just put it in the hands of the Lord. I'm like, okay, Lord, you're going to have to help me from this point on. But we'll actually talk about reviewing some of those goals that you have and creating action plans. My gift don't always work for me, but it worked for everybody else. So why not, right? You guys probably relate to that. Activate your authenticity and be true to who you are. One of the things that I believe I've benefited from the most, and what makes me so transformational compared to other people, is that I know who I am. You can ask my husband if you know him. I know who I am. I know what my limits are. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. I know what I will try to do, and I know what I will get help doing. And that's something that I'm very firm about. You know, I'm very firm about some of the things when it comes to me, and that's not always coming from it's confidence, not arrogant place, but it's just I know who I am, and I'm true to who I am. You know, there's this scripture that says that we have to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. And I'm like, Lord, what does that mean? Well, he said, how can you worship me in spirit and in truth if you don't even know who you are? You don't even know who you are. How can you worship him with your core, which is your spirit, right? And you don't even know who you are. Something to think about. I ain't gonna go too deep because I'm not here to preach. But you guys, creating a self-care plan that works for you is so important. And then, of course, we're going to talk about pursuing relationships with purpose. I've had many relationships in my life. Failed relationships, okay? And then some of that, I've hurt people as well. You know, I've been hurt and I've hurt people, but I reached a point where I had to basically up my relational intelligence. Okay, I had to learn how to do relationships because at some point I was just like over it. I don't want to deal with nobody. I did not want to deal with anybody like that. Outside of work, you know, relationships and things of that nature, my circle's still small, but opening up my heart. I found ways to open up my heart while implementing healthy boundaries. So I had to take a look at some of the connections, some of the people in my life, because again, sometimes we gravitate to people who are similar to us, and that's not always a good thing because we tend to gravitate towards our weaknesses. And I tell my daughter all the time, don't put yourself around people who constantly live where you fail. Don't put yourself around people who live where you fail. I need to go higher. I'm trying to change. So I need to put myself around people that are going to push me into my purpose. Okay. And here's the thing about community and connecting with people. You may have been hurt in community, but you can find healing in community. There is healing in the right community. And boy, whoever, y'all hear me? This is the truth. I wouldn't tell you something that I haven't personally experienced myself. So we're going to talk about those things. So these are 3 ways that you can connect with me as it relates to the metamorphosis. I can't say it right sometimes, y'all. The metamorphosis mentoring program. Well, you can join me on my private Facebook community. It's free. I'll send you guys the link. All of you will get an email following this, by the way. So I'm going to send you guys the links with this information. I am starting the group Metamorphosis Mentoring Program in January. January 11th is my tentative date as of now. It may get pushed back to the 18th, but I'll let you guys know for sure. And I'm offering this program as a starter program for $8.99 for the group coaching, okay? Private coaching and mentoring, if you're interested in learning more about that, hit me up. I'm going to tell you how you can hit me up, all right? You're going to have to email me or go to my website at www.tacondra.com. And you can send me an email there and I'll respond to you. At this time, if you have any questions that you want to drop in the chat box, go ahead and do so. I'll do my best to answer them. And leave me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think or what you've thought so far about this presentation. I'm highly interested in knowing. I'm going to put this information up so you can know how to get in contact with me again. If you're interested in learning more about this program that I'm offering, I do have another program that I'm offering as well. That one's kind of more of the private mentoring program. I have some information up on my website now so you can learn more about that. But definitely get in contact with me, and definitely, we can set up a time to talk personally. I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with some of you guys and have a conversation. So thank you. Someone said this was very informative. That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, you guys, the choice is up. It's in your hands. You have the power to choose at the end of the day. I hope you leave inspired. I hope you're empowered. And someone says, do you have payment plan options? Yes, I do. I do have payment plan options. So I'll give you guys more information about that if you reach out to me. But yes, we do have payment plan options available for those of you who are interested. And I also have some free bonuses and exclusive things. I'm not sharing that right now because, like I said, I'm not here to sell you anything transactional. I want you to understand that this is transformational more than anything. So if you want to talk, all the exclusives, the bonuses, and all that added stuff, then we'll have that conversation. But I chose not to do that in this webinar because I want to get to your heart. So. All right, let me see if I can bring myself back to the screen so you guys can see me. I just want to thank you all personally for tuning in. Share this information. And when I say information, share my website, share this information with anybody that you know that this may benefit from this. They may need this in their life, I thank you guys. I love you guys. And that's it. I'm trying to wait and see if we have any more comments coming in. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Check my questions. What other questions did I have? Did I miss some? All right. Okay. No, I think that's it. All right. So it's in Q&A. Well, let me see. What Q&A? Oh, I have some questions here, you guys. What event this year helped me more in my becoming? This year? Ooh. Well, y'all know this year ain't too much going on. I will say this. What's helped me this year, something I did. It's not necessarily an event, but I invested in myself. And, I invested in myself. I hired a mentor. I'm not going to tell y'all who it is because that's not important. You want to know, we'll talk later. But I hired a mentor, and I invested in myself at the level in which I want my ministry and my business to thrive in. And I think mentoring with this individual really helped me, and it took me to another level mentally in my mind. So I would say that helped me, but I haven't attended any events that I can think of, not like that. I did also do another thing. Like I said, everything that I've done is investing in myself. I invested in a prophetic counseling course that's helped me. It's ministry related, so I try not to talk, too heavy about that because I don't want to reach just everybody in the church. But there's steps that I took as far as investing in myself this year, getting in the right community that's really helped me with my becoming process. So hope that answered your question, whoever that was. And then it says, what are 3 tips for those 3 tips that help those who are looking to become on social media? Well, to become on social media, okay, I'm just having honest. I don't like social media like that. Like, I do social media because I have to, you guys, to connect with people. But I have a love-hate relationship with social media. It is what it is. I'm very transparent about that. But if you're looking to become on social media, one tip, and I believe this tip covers all the rest of them, is be transparent about your process. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. There's nothing about me that's perfect, but I was made in the hands of perfection, and that's all that matters. So I hope that one tip covers 3. Yeah, what you guys think? Is that a good tip? I hope so. Be who you are. It's hard being somebody else. It's so hard, and I've done it. Just be you. Allow him to work his unique expression of himself through you, and stop trying to be somebody else for somebody else. Be you for you, and because can't nobody do you like you do. Okay. All right, you guys. So that's right. That's right. Again, thank you guys for supporting and coming on and investing your time tonight, to have this conversation with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you guys, and I look forward to hearing from you.